Manny's NYC. We're here with
Bernard.
Sir. Since you've been living here, how has the city changed for you?
Well, I've been here for almost 20 years. I go and come.
Okay.
But when I first arrived here, the city was a little bit different.
Yeah.
People were understanding people from other walks of life. Also, we are what we call the strangers on the outside looking in, and they are the ones looking out. But as time went by, in my opinion, I would say New York is one of the best cities in America, but I wouldn't say it's the greatest city in the world.
Right.
But at least it has changed a lot, because what is happening is that man has changed people's lives by not being truthful with them and always instituting things to make people uncertain what will happen in their future. I mean, capital is being wasted for no apparent reason. There are many people who are putting a great effort for this city, but now they have been overlooked. Where in times of this pandemic crisis, where the city should say, okay, let's look at them and then we look at the others.
Right.
But unfortunately, they are wasting money for unnecessary things, and people are in need of times.
Yeah.
Where now they are forced. Now New York now has become not a city for coming, but a city of what you call
For
survival.
leaving. Oh, and survival, yes.
Survival.
Yeah.
Yes, now it's not most of the time that you are now living in a world. It's like what you call pay to check.
Right.
Get paid today, throw it away. Next week is another check.
You gotta pay your rent, you gotta pay your things that you have to.
So now the cost of living in New York too, in certain places is very more moderate, and other places is expensive. But to be quite frank with you, even the rich man, the upper class enemy will travel to the minority places and still buy stuff, because they feel that right, it's not about overspending, it's about looking towards the future. What will happen then? But the city, generalistically, it will be there, but it's not a city where I would recommend anybody to come and start a living. It's a city of what you call now survival.
Right.
Every day it's a survival. 15 years ago, it was a better place to live. People came. Now you got too many dysfunctional people, but I know that people mind their own businesses because in pandemic crisis, they also have their burdens to worry about. But to me, I think that New York City is becoming a city where you could come, but just to visit and go. Because if you come here to look for an employment office, I would not recommend that, because basically
you're not gonna find
nothing, and people are taking minimum pay cuts just to hold on to their job. Where in 10 to 15 years ago, yes, they would have paid a college graduate and a school man huge amounts of pay, but now it's not like that anymore. So the only thing I could say, this is now what you call a holiday state. Come, enjoy your little 2 weeks vacation, see what's what, and then go back.
Right.
But any intentions of coming and living here and trying to start a living, I will not recommend, because it's vehemently impossible. Because right now you see, even if you look around, 15 years ago, there wasn't any people that were lying on the street. Right. We're getting more homeless people, and it's not because they're skilled people, but because why? They are not looked at, rather than they are looking at those coming in, but then they have no. Some have skills, others have a trade, others don't have.
Right.
And this is why, in my opinion, for my 20 years, I don't stay here regularly, but I would say that New York City is one of the greatest states in America for so far due to the pandemic crisis.
Right.
Because there's always going to be cheap sales for you to go and buy.
Right. And I noticed that too.
Pizzas and all that. Right. Where in some other states they don't have that.
Right.
But to me, generalistically speaking, it's still one of the best. but not to come and live, because people are now moving out
Yeah.
and taking their infrastructure elsewhere
Right.
rather than stay here and meet this high cost of expenses, and which eventually it will come to a point where the state will have to start asking which direction we're going
Yeah.
in. Because today, look at you graduate from college and no employer is going to pay you college wages.
No, they're not.
Because they will get 10 people and pay
That
you
can
that
do
wages,
way lower. Yes.
and pay them less.
Exactly.
So, to my opinion, I will say that we are much better off in some aspects of things, but technically speaking, it's what you call a ghost town.
I understand.
Because 10 years ago, you could look through and see lots of people.
Yeah.
But now you can stand here and look from here to the West Side Highway, and
Yeah.
that was 10 years ago. It was impossible.
Right.
So it's becoming more what you call an unfathomable state, incapable of being fully understood. People are now not stabilized like 10 years ago.
Right.
They had a stable mind, they can enjoy their wealth. Now basically it's that they work and their capital goes away from them.
Right.
So basically you're always living in panic and in fear.
Yeah.
Where
And
will-
worry. You worry.
You're worrying too much. Where will the next, will it get better? Will it get better? When, what century, what year? That I cannot provide you an answer for that.
I understand.
But Manny, I would suggest that to those who will look at this interview will say he is right, then he may be wrong. I've given you the most crucial fact, because since that I'm an employee, I walk around here every day,
Right.
observe things,
Yeah.
and today, tomorrow, in the future, it will be man against machines.
Yeah.
But eventually, we still need human beings. But
Yeah.
technically
Technology,
speaking, technology will help, but sometimes it can't do everything.
No.
But unfortunately, the city, to me, it has changed from once it was a very nice place. Now it's
Right.
become a city of we are strangers to each other now.
Right.
Even your own family, you're strangers to them.
Yeah.
Because today you walk on the street, you see your friend, he walks by you. 2 weeks later, he says hello. It's becoming too much of a burden. Not just New York, it could be anywhere around the world.
Right.
To those who follow your YouTube, will always say, yes, it's not just America, it's a
Right.
global thing about what this man doing to make it better.
Right. I appreciate the
Thank
time.
you
I
very
really
much,
do.
man. Okay? Thank you very
Manny's
much.
NYC.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I'm out.
All the fakeness, since been born me, I destined for the greatness. Praise the Almighty.